Oh, do I feel good today? What is up, DTL Universe? It's your boy, the coach, and we are at the beginning of Thanksgiving week. And like Matt said in the chat, Mondays just hit different on a short week. Now, as always, our schedule will be somewhat limited this week, but we will still have a complete morning show every single day at 10 a.m. Eastern time, including Thanksgiving morning. We'll break down all of the games, one show, and then everybody goes and enjoys the day with their families. Now, this was a banana land weekend, not only in college football, but also in the pros, capped off last night by one of the greatest performances you will ever see by a player, by a running back in Saquon Barkley. 302 total yards, 255 on the ground as the Eagles got the job done by 17. Now, how did we do as a crew yesterday? Well, once again, we had a solid day. Your boy, 4-0-1. Charles, 3-1. AB, solid as well. But as you guys know, we've got tons and tons and tons of content out there. And all you got to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel. Turn on those notifications, and every single time we start any content, you will be notified, and you can click in. We've got a fresh podcast every single day. Fresh audio, only 20 to 30 minutes, drops around 2 p.m. Eastern time. Video for premium members at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Now, let's welcome in my partner, my boy, our five-tool player coming off a big win there in Nashville, Tennessee. Well, on the road, but from Nashville, Tennessee. Good morning, AB.
Yeah, good morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. It feels like everybody got a big win, but me, I got tuned up yesterday and last night. But you know what? Those days happen. How we doing, man?
I'm doing good, but that's why you have us to kind of offset that particular day. So I think Sundays are my day. I need to lay off. Maybe we just catch with the coach on Sundays.
Hey,
I don't know.
Look, it's like we're in a dugout. All right, you're on the mound. I'm not saying nothing. All right, we're just leaving you alone. Everybody knows the deal. So I just hit retweet and move on. Like,
I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Over the course of the next 58 minutes or so, we've got a full Monday Night Football. We're talking Monday mishaps. What did the crew think was the worst thing over the weekend? And also, we play the favorite game of overs and unders. But without further ado, AB, what is the Howie Schwab crew play of the day selections?
Well, got this new thing called Monday Night Football, and I think it's going to be a big hit with the audience here in America. Got the Ravens and the Chargers. Ravens minus 2.5. Chargers plus 2.5. Going the over 50.5, under 50.5. Polls in the chat. Vote now. Coach, I don't know if you heard this, but we got siblings coaching against each other tonight. Brother versus brother.
Oh, I had not seen the 8,000 promos on ESPN about the hour-long special before the game tonight, but I appreciate you letting me know that one more time. By the way, AB, Brettley 916, this is going to be awesome tomorrow. He goes, my apologies to Soupy, who was beating me in the DTL Fantasy League until Saquon Barkley laced up those damn cleats last night. Soupy's got to be hurting this morning. Who would have thought that?
That'd be tough, dude. That'd be tough. And real quick, Randall in the chat, Randall Reeves asks, how long till college baseball? Valentine's Day. That's generally when we get it going for real. So, yeah.
I can't wait for that. Can you believe it? It's going to be year 2. We're now going to cross over the year mark, and we are rolling. But we've got the best crew in the damn game. They are standing by. They are ready. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the picks. And on Mondays, we have a whole bunch of new people trying out the brand, so they all get their very quick intros today. First and foremost, he was 3 out of 4 yesterday. He had a really good 5-pack. He's a man from the dirty Big Chuck. Good morning.
Morning, Coach, crew. We were actually a quarter away from going 0-3. How crazy that fourth quarter was in the nation's capital. So thankfully it came through. So thankful to get that one behind us. Excited about this new week. We got some great soccer on the horizon, so ready to get it going.
All right, very good. By the way, what Charles is talking about is the over 41 points in the fourth quarter. I've never seen that happen before. And Terry McLaren, you had his over. Yeah, he had an 86-yarder going through all 11 guys. It was just the most banana game of all time. All right, next, he went to a shocker this weekend in Norman, Oklahoma, and got to talk to the man in the black hat, good old JR. Good morning to our favorite Z-Man. Good morning, Z.
This is true. When you think of celebrity Sooner fans, the first one that comes to your mind is Jim Ross. So Jim Ross joined us on ESPN Radio College Football Tailgate Live in Norman, Oklahoma this Saturday. Great catching up with him. He sounds great. I was very happy to hear from him. Wild weekend in college football. Most notably, I'm happy for the Miami Hurricanes because now, because of all the action this weekend, you may very well get 2 ACC teams that get into the college football playoff. So that bodes very well for the Miami Hurricanes and, of course, also for SMU.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that coming up in the mishaps. Also, we've got a college football section because, as Z-Man just alluded to, a lot went down on the college gridiron this weekend. And finally, he is our numbers guy for a reason, Rafael Esparza. Good morning, Rafael.
Morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. Happy feast week. And I was telling the producer, this is the busiest time for sports books and odds makers because you have football, early college basketball, NBA all day on Friday. So it's a busy, busy gambling week and can't be happier.
You're damn right. I love these college basketball tournaments around the holidays. I love seeing who could play 3 games in a row. Back when I was a sophomore in college, I scored 37 night one. Next day, could barely walk. That's when I realized I got to get my ass in better shape. Now, it begs the question, gentlemen, before we get to the picks quickly, we had 2 great performances yesterday. The Lions basically shut out the Colts, holding them to 6 points, and they continue to play great football, AB. And then the Eagles last night on national television put the hammer down on the Rams. The over did come in 37-24 Z. So, begs the question, AB, right now, who's the better team, Eagles or the Lions?
Man, that's an impossible question. They're both so good at what they do. Time of possession and spacing last night. Did you notice Saquon Barkley finding space? That is what kills teams. And the Eagles had about 34 minutes possession. Look, and the Lions do the exact same thing. I can't answer the question. They're just so damn good, man. They're so good. I don't have a logical answer for it. I really don't.
That's okay. That's fair because it is at plus 275 Z for the Lions, plus 600 for the Eagles. It's going to be a really fun last 6 to 8 weeks to see on the NFC side who is better.
Well, I think the easy answer is the Lions. Like, there's no reason to say that the Lions are not the best team somehow from what we've seen all season, really from week number 1 in the NFC. And I would also say overall in the NFL. But the part that's most interesting to me about what the Eagles are doing right now is not even Saquon Barkley, all right? It's Nick Sirianni. You go back to 2-2. They've won 7 in a row now. You go back to 2-2. They're trying to fire him there in Philadelphia. And going into the year, we know the way that people spoke, especially in Philadelphia, about Sirianni. We talk about this coach like he's a bum. He had the team in the Super Bowl 2 seasons ago. Last year, they were 10-1 before they fell apart. And now this year, they're 9-2. I don't think I'm going out on a limb saying, you know what? Nick Sirianni might be a good coach. Might be a good coach. Might be.
I think that's a good limb. I think that's a good limb to sit on right now. So, Charles, let me come over to you. Lions, Eagles, what'd you see?
I'm going to go with the Lions just because they have the better record, but I think at the end of the year, it possibly could be the Eagles. They have a more favorable schedule to end the season, so we could actually see them ending with a better record. But as of today, I'm going with the Lions just because of their win streak. They look dominant. Even when the underdog is supposed to cover, they still find a way to come out and dominate. So, yeah, I'm very impressed with this Lions team.
Yeah, I think Charles brings up a good point. That home field, Rafael, could be incredibly important if it comes down to these two in the NFC Championship.
But sometimes the best record doesn't win the ship. And what I saw last night, the Eagles have the better defense than the Lions. The Lions offense clicking at all cylinders, but the Eagles D really good.
Yeah, they looked really, really good. They did have a big loss last night, unfortunately, on their defensive side. We'll see how that affects them moving down the road. All right, we'll have a full breakdown of Monday Night Football after the bottom of the hour. We also play overs and unders. Tonight's a really good one. It is the Ravens on the road, same stadium as last night, right here at SoFi, 2 nights in a row. All right, so AB, we got to get to our picks for the day because we had a really good day yesterday, but I want another good one today. What do we have, producer man? Oh, let's go over to AB first. AB?
You know what? We're taking chalk tonight. First off, taking UConn in basketball, -8.5 against Memphis. Sorry, DG. Got to do it. UConn. I got a feeling that they're going to be ready for this game. The second one, Derrick Henry, 2+ touchdowns. If I know anything, and we're going to get it at +265. If I know anything about the Harbaughs, it's this. You have one Harbaugh, you have consistent, conservative coaching. We're not going to get out of line. You have two Harbaughs, and it's like reading the Old Testament, buddy. We are keeping it straight and narrow. All right. And I'll tell you this, got the original Old Testament right there. All right. And that's what we're going to use. Derrick Henry, 2+ touchdowns. They will use him in the red zone all night long.
Oh, my God. We've got show and tell from AB this morning on a Monday mishap Monday. And can I say Monday anymore? All right, Charles, you got one play today because these big leagues overseas, they're kind of like the NFL. They like to go that one game on Monday, and today it's Newcastle and it's West Ham. Talk to me.
EPL match day 12 wraps up with Newcastle and West Ham. And I'm rolling with the both teams to score in over 2.5. It's actually cashed in 3 straight between these two in 7 of their last 10 meetings in what should be a highly entertaining affair.
Highly entertaining. I love the EPL on a Monday. Now, Z-Man, coming over to you because I can always rely on you for a little bit of ice time and a little bit of a fun parlay. You're up, sir.
Yeah, well, look, I'm obviously dialed in on the Florida Panthers, and they're going to set the tone for my entire week, all right? On a Monday, we got to get the week going on the right foot. The Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, my favorite little hockey team, they have lost 5 of their last 6 games. So I'm looking for the value. They're on home ice tonight. They're taking on a good Capitals team, but no Alexander Ovechkin, all right? They're shorthanded. So you know what? The Panthers, they're going to snap out of it. Let it be tonight. Let's go with the Panthers puck line. -1.5, +150, all right? So that's good value to me. They're going to snap out of this funk. I like the Panthers. And now let's do a little bit of NBA, all right? I got a 3-leg NBA parlay for you here. So just picking 3 winners. I got 3 home teams for you here. Hawks tonight at home against Dallas. Mavericks last night, second night of a back-to-back. They lost to the Heat. You got the Grizzlies at home tonight against the Trailblazers. And the Warriors late night tonight, home against the Brooklyn Nets. So I got 3 teams there. I just need them to win. That's it. And that parlay is +125. I love plus money.
I love plus money too. And if you tune in last week, Z was all over his money line parlay. Sometimes it's just easier. It's just easier than trying to figure out the points. Z-Man, great job, buddy.
Especially in the NBA. Like, there's a lot of opportunity. Yes. Money lines. You put 2 or 3 teams together, especially in the NBA. There's a lot of opportunity there to win.
Boom and boom. All right, Raphael, your final 2. Great hosting by me. Timing's perfect. Go.
Love Z-Man's Panthers play. They've won 9 straight against Washington, but I'm taking a Nuggets team total over 117.5. The total is dropping, open up at 233.5, now a 232. I just think the Nuggets going to blow up this game. They've hit this number 8 out of the last 10 games. The 2 games they didn't hit, they lost. I think they win tonight with ease. I like this team total over 117.5. And then give me J.K. Dobbins over 12.5 rushing attempts. He's playing his old team. You don't think he wants to feed the ball and run all over his old team? He's hit this number 8 out of 10. I think this one flies over. One book out there has 11.5. I'm trying to sign up to get this bet right now.
All right. Always shop around. We always use DraftKings as our book of choice, but it doesn't mean we don't look at other lines as well. All right. Great start to the show. I think we all agree that we disagree on who the best team is, but that's the beauty of it, because in the NFL, they settle it on the field, just like they do in college football. So still to come here on the show, we're just getting started. It's a vibe. And on Mondays, it's not exactly negative, but it is fun. It's time for Monday mishaps after the break. And also, we look forward to Monday Night Football, the Ravens and the Chargers, a pivotal game in the AFC. We're just getting started. High energy. It's a short week, and we absolutely love it. Where else do you want to be on a Monday, but right here at DTL. All right, you degenerates out there who continue to watch us on our YouTube page, we love you so very much. Real quickly, and I will take the bet, Z, if you don't want to, but the boys from Weekend Wagers are getting a little bit cocky in the chat, and They want to challenge you to a straight-up Caps versus Panthers for one membership to be awarded to somebody in the chat. Are you in? Or are you
in? Yeah, let's do it. Come on.
Let's
can't be not scared. You can't be scared. Come on.
Scared memberships don't make memberships.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that. All right. You're up, big boy. Better days ahead. Or Mark in the chat. You hit. Now, it's not the puck line. It's not the puck line.
Straight up.
It's not -1.5. It's straight up. It's straight up. Also, AB, somebody in the chat said they need 200 rush yards tonight to regain the running back throne, for King Henry. Do you think he could have a big night tonight like Saquon last night, perhaps?
Look, Derrick Henry can go off at any moment, but this Chargers defense is legit. Do not sleep on this Chargers defense. They are very, very legit. So I would bet against doing what Barkley did last night, but I don't ever bet against the King, man.
All right. We've got the over-unders coming up in about 22 minutes from right now. Raphael, tonight, how big in your mind? Because last night I felt like we did it on the NFC side, and I think tonight we're doing it on the AFC side to really kind of gauge the best teams.
Yeah, this one's going to be interesting. There's no more threes on this game. 2.5 all across the board. You missed the threes, 5.5, but DraftKings dropped it at 5 this morning to 2.5. This one's very interesting for AFC. We've seen the Baltimore Ravens do some hiccups. They're not playing their best ball. And the Chargers right now, that defense, like AB say, has been lights out. Everyone wants to talk about their offense, but that defense has been lights out. I like the home dog maybe barking tonight.
All right. Plenty more on Monday Night Football coming up in about 17 minutes from right now. But I hope my boys are ready because this is the time of the day. This is the time of the week. This is the time of the show when we got to get a little bit something off our chest that went wrong over the weekend. And I absolutely love it. So buckle up, buckle in. We are back live in just 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Best crew in the damn game here every single Monday. Big Chuck Z, Raphael, AB, producer man, and the coach. Now, there was so much that happened over the weekend, and a lot of it wasn't supposed to happen. We call that a mishap. So this is Monday's mishaps. So, AB, as always, I come over to you first. I have no idea where you're going, but I can't wait. What is your Monday mishap today?
Coach, I hate to do it. Lane Kiffin, I love you, buddy. I've loved you ever since you coached at Tennessee. You left in 1 year, but you went home to USC, and I get it, and I never held it against you. But you've got one problem, all right? You've had it for a while. You don't take points early in games. You get too cavalier. You're too cowboy, all right? Take the points, dude. Field goals matter in conference games, in the SEC, on the road. You didn't have to be the aggressor against Florida. All you had to do was be you, be yourself. Take the points, all right, and move on. Force Florida to play from behind and to be the aggressor. And you wouldn't do it. You kept going for fourth downs. You weren't smart with the football. Coaches, it is an epidemic across college and the NFL. The first half, take points. And remember this, in life, not just football, in life, more games are lost than they are won.
That's deep. That is deep. Let that just wash over you. Just for a second. Let it wash over you. All right. It drives me insane, these coaches that don't take the points. Absolutely insane. And it's an epidemic across college and the NFL. All right. AB, well done. Good start. Z, I'm coming over to you because when somebody has the road laid out in front of them, you would think that that would propel them to a good performance. We would think not. You're up.
Yeah, I think you look right at Colorado. You look at the Buffaloes, and man, did they blow a great opportunity. You know, whatever you think of Dion, he's clearly done a terrific job. That team 2 years ago won 1 game. Dion comes in, they win 4 last year. Everybody's on them. Welcome to the Power 4. Welcome to Big 12. Well, this year they got 8 wins. All right, and they go into this weekend 6-1 in the Big 12, controlling their own destiny. And they lost to Kansas. Now look, Kansas is a good team. All right, they have 3 consecutive wins against ranked teams now this season, including against Colorado. So they didn't lose to some pushover. But man, that would have been fun seeing Colorado in the Big 12 championship. And obviously then with a chance in the college football playoff, now it's Arizona State and Iowa State who have the inside track for the Big 12 championship. And nobody cares about either one of those teams making the college football playoff. I dare you guys to name a single player from either Arizona State or Iowa State. I'll save you the trouble. You can't do it. So Colorado, they really blew it. That was going to be a lot of attention, a lot of eyeballs on that Big 12 championship. And unfortunately, Colorado now is a long shot to make the Big 12 title game.
I could not believe the score when I saw it. 37 points they gave up to the Jayhawks. The only thing worse than that is Soupy's analysis in the chat right now. He says Kansas deserves to be in the playoffs. Yes, Soupy, at 5-6, they deserve to be in the playoffs. He is no longer a member of the crew as of this moment. Maybe he'll be back by tomorrow. All right. Big Chuck, Charles. We also have an epidemic apparently now in the NFL. You're up.
Kickers. Once again, they're up, the kickers, missing field goals, especially in the nation's capital. Mr. Austin Seibert has the opportunity to tie the game after he had already missed an extra point and a field goal, and he misses that one. Even with a botched snap, he still had the opportunity to get it through, and he stated after the game that didn't matter. He should have made that. So he was responsible for 5 points, even though I don't know if maybe bringing him back too early after injury was the best move. But once again, we're talking about kickers. The players have to answer questions about the kickers. So it's just, it's an epidemic that continues week 12, and we're still talking about these kickers and their inability to make extra points or especially field goals.
You almost felt bad for the kid from Washington yesterday. He was literally in tears after the game, after missing the extra point, after that insanely ridiculous 86-yard catch and run by Terry McLaurin that cashed your ticket and ultimately got the greatest cashed over maybe in the history of the NFL yesterday. Big old fat smile over there from Big Chuck. I couldn't believe that cashed. I could not believe that cashed. All right, Raphael, coming over to you, big boy. Dare we say Big Apple?
Big Apple or Gladiator 2. One of the choice, because both of them were bad, because New York Giants football was bad yesterday. I couldn't believe that. First of all, they were playing at home, and to show up that poorly at home, they averaged 3.8 yards on the ground. That's pathetic. They scored 7 points in the game, and that was in the fourth quarter. They weren't playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl defense. I don't know what's going on in New York with the sport called football. Jets and Giants. Jets didn't play yesterday, so I'll just rag on the Giants right now. They're in a complete mess right now.
An absolute mess. All right. My Monday mishap is I'm going to go to the Windy City, the Chicago Bears. It wasn't that long ago, gentlemen, that the Bears were the toast of the town, that all four teams in the NFC North were a viable playoff contender. But my mishap is mishaps. You go back to Washington, the last second tipped ball, 18-15. That was Sunday, October 27th. It seems like a lifetime ago. It was 1 month ago. And then they scored 9 against Arizona. And then they scored 3 against the Patriots. But then they're playing the Green Bay Packers, and they're right there. The wind's right in front of them. Blocked kick. Oh, and then we play Minnesota. You're down 8 in the fourth quarter. You come back, you tie the game, and alas, on the last play of the game, again, you lose. 5 straight losses, 3 of them on the last play of the game. I know Bears fans are very, very frustrated right now, and they should be. But that shows you just how close the Bears are to being good. They're not as bad as people think, but they're certainly not as good as we thought they were some 5 games ago. Bears, you got to close better. You just do. All right, those are our Monday mishaps. If you missed any of them, you can look on our social media later today, and we will have the really, really, really top-notch, like myself, they'll be posted. So, AB, let me come back over to you because Charles already alluded to it. I've mentioned it a little bit, and it's amazing how week to week in the NFL, we can go from, man, they're awesome, talking about Washington Commanders, to what's going on now. 7-5 3 weeks ago, they were in first place. Now they're 2.5 games behind the Eagles. Are the Commanders, in your mind, still a playoff team, or are we starting to get what we thought we would get?
Well, they're coming back down to earth, but really what it is that you've got a rookie quarterback, and these coaches work a lot of hours, man, and they spend time studying guys like Jaden Daniels. And look, I'm not putting it all on him. Understand that dude is a stud, but these coaches figure you out, man. Like, you have to adapt and you have to keep going. And sometimes you have injuries that pile up, and sometimes you're just not that good. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm talking about like the highest tier echelon of the league of what they were playing at. Yeah, I mean, they're this is the NFL. Like, coaches figure you out a little bit of what you're doing. And if you be using smoke and mirrors, yeah, tends to dissipate there towards the end.
Yeah, they're so good at adjustments. They really are. Z, let me come over to you, because sometimes in the NFL, you've got to really be able to compartmentalize. And if you're the Commanders, you're like, man, we're really struggling. But then you say, but we're still sitting in that third wild card spot. So despite all of the losses and the bad special teams play and all of that, they are still alive. That's what I would be telling the team today if I'm Dan Quinn. What about you?
Show me the good win. That not a single win this year against a team above 500, even when they were 7-2. Like, they were doing what you're supposed to do. They were beating bad teams. It's great. I think everybody got a little bit too caught up in them at 7-2 when not really noticing the teams that they were beating. You had miracle wins like the game against the Bears, when in fact the important thing, like, this is not a playoff team. They're not going to make the playoffs. The important thing here is Commander fans should still be thrilled with however this season finishes, because the bottom line is by far the most important thing this season, so much more important than them making the playoffs, is they have a quarterback, all right?
Yes.
And if you have a quarterback, you're a good team for the next dozen years. So it's unfortunate that they start out so hot. They're going to miss the playoffs, and the Commander fans are going to be sour because expectations change throughout a season. But the reality of it is, Commander fans should really be ecstatic about Jaden Daniels, even when they wind up missing the playoffs. This is not a good team. They'll get there.
Now, there might be a few Commanders fans that push back a little bit on that take, Z. If you look at the schedule that they have left, home to Tennessee this Sunday. Then they have the latest bye of the entire season, which is a great thing for them. Then they go to the Saints, who aren't very good, home to Philadelphia, home to the Falcons, and then on the road to Dallas. So it's not super, super tough, but it's not super easy either. We'll see truly what they're all about. Raphael, let me come over to you, because the 49ers, they were the preseason NFC favorite for the playoffs. They've had a ton of injuries. We know that. But yesterday, Brandon Allen at times in the first half looked decent, and then they get blown out. They call the loss embarrassing. Is the 49ers season now officially over?
It was over when Brandon Allen put his helmet on as the quarterback. So it's been over for a while. But this is not a total lost season, because we're going to look back around that the 49ers had a bad season because of injuries. It's not because they just had bad football. It's because of the injuries they've had. Horrible. It's just a lost season. You just push it to a side, get healthy for next year. But the 49ers, it's just an injury bug.
AB, go.
I said it yesterday. I'm going to say it again. All right. Daniel Jones to the 49ers in 3, 2. Did you see Brandon Allen yesterday? Ain't going to work, Hoss.
Now, when I saw, and Charles, I'll give you 30 seconds. I saw Daniel Jones said he wanted to go to a contender. I laughed, but maybe that's not so funny anymore, because I think AB might be onto something.
I would love to see him there. I would have rather seen Josh Dobbs play yesterday also than Brandon Allen. I think he would have gave them a better opportunity to win. But, yeah, the Super Bowl loser hangover is a real thing. We continue to see that each time the team that loses in the Super Bowl, they seem to falter that next season. But this team, they still have 2 division games, so they kind of have a favorable schedule as well. Even though they do have the Bills coming up next, they still have the looks like the Rams and Cardinals on the schedule. So you never know, but I think that it's pretty much downhill from here, but it's depending on if Purdy can come back and still lead them to win out the rest of the season.
At Buffalo, home to Chicago, home to the Rams, at Miami, home to Detroit, at Arizona. Let's put a fork in the 49ers. That's a brutal, brutal schedule. Still to come, we break down everything Monday Night Football. It is DTL. It's a vibe on a Monday. All right, we have officially crossed the bottom of the hour with the best damn crew in the game. Still watching on our YouTube channel. AB, there was a lot that went on over the weekend. But now as we start to move forward, do we like having a Black Friday game? It's my Chiefs, but the next 4 weeks are crazy. You got games on Fridays, Saturdays, Wednesdays. Has Christmas falling on a Wednesday kind of, I mean, to me, it's a lot of unfairness for certain teams like the Chiefs, AB.
I love it. Look, I absolutely love it. I love the Black Friday game is becoming a thing. And you got to give a shout out here. Amazon saying, you know what? We're going to buy this game because now everybody thinks that we're going to be pushing Amazon stuff. Nah, we already sell Amazon stuff. What we're pushing is you watching Amazon. All right, that's what we're pushing. These dudes are thinking 3 levels ahead, and it's more football, man. I'm all in. Now we got college football too. So, dude, it's becoming just an awesome football weekend.
It really, really is. And Amazon, they want all in, Z, on this live sports programming, and this is part of their plan.
Yeah, I mean, people like to complain about that with the games on Amazon or, whatever other I know, Netflix has it coming up on Christmas Day. Who doesn't have these services anymore? Who doesn't have Netflix? Who doesn't have Prime? I mean, good. And you know what? If you don't have these, you spend the $15. You see if you like it for the month, because guess what? After you watch the NFL game, there's like 1 million movies and TV shows. This is great value. Subscribe to Prime. Subscribe. Like, people complain about the Tyson fight. All right, well, guess what? Now you have Netflix for a month. Go watch a movie.
I thought the same thing, Raphael. I was like, who are all these people complaining? You don't have Netflix? I thought that was just a thing these days.
Yeah, I mean, you could get someone's password and watch. You don't even have to pay for it. But I'm going to complain because for an odds maker guy that works in a book, this is horrible days for us because we can't spend time with our families because there's football games on Black Friday, 3 Thanksgiving games, plus a college game and NBA games. This is tiring for me. I would like to just sit back and hang out with the
Raphael,
family.
you don't work at the books.
I still do odds, Coach. I still answer my phone.
In your house? All right, hold on. We're back in 5 seconds. All right, we have crossed the bottom of the hour. We are back. It's DTL on a Monday, and we were having during the break a really good discussion about the schedule and the NFL and Friday games and Christmas games. And I know, AB, that you had something you wanted to add on to the discussion, as there are going to be games essentially every day of the week for the next 4 weeks. It seems that way.
Absolutely. Look, first off, Raphael, hey, look, everybody, just bring your kids to the casino. I'll be over at the craps table. All right, I'll teach them. All right. 20 on 5, 20 on 9, and we're throwing fire bets out there. I'll let them roll the dice, have some fun. Number 2, the smartest thing that Amazon does is that they push everything on mobile, phone, tablet, etc., whatever, because I'm not married, but I've seen it. And what do you want to do when you've got all of your in-laws in? You want to get the hell out of there. So you go sit in your car and watch the game. You go to the garage and watch the game. You can go mow the lawn if you got grass left. That's the smartest way to play it right there.
I saw one of those things on, and you never know if it's like an influencer that does jokes or if it's real. But did anybody see this thing that went viral? The dad that it was a Sunday and they were at Target with the wife and the kids, and he said 12:30, we're done because I got to get home to watch the Lions. And at 12:30, she was like, just a couple more minutes. And she looked at the camera and she goes, he's going nowhere. And then they cut to him at home in the living room in his Lions jersey. She walks in carrying bags, and he's like, this is history. It's not just I'm watching history. And he didn't back down at all. Can you imagine leaving the wife at Target to take an Uber home? I don't think so. That would never happen. But again, I, like AB, am not married anymore. I don't have to answer any of those questions. All right, let's get into Monday Night Football, because tonight it's a big one. Z, I'm going to start with you, because it is the Baltimore Ravens, who have shown at times they can look like the best team in football. They're a favorite. This shocks me a little bit because the Chargers have been really, really good, and they're 7-3. They have a better record than the Ravens do, but because they play in the AFC West, nobody's paying attention to them. Are you shocked, Z, that the number is 2.5?
Well, the first thing I want to ask is, do you guys know that the coaches, they're brothers? Have you heard that? They're brothers.
Somebody told me that.
They're brothers. One Harbaugh coaches the Ravens, and the other Harbaugh coaches they're brothers tonight, playing each other on Monday Night Football. Anyway, by the way, it's not that big a deal. They did face off against each other in the Super Bowl. All right. Like they're playing tonight on Monday Bowl. It's not that big a thing. All right. This could be a great game. I like the Chargers here tonight. Do I like the Chargers enough to play them? Maybe a play a little tease. I don't know. I don't want to give away state secrets here, but I like the Chargers. They're a very tough football team. That's what Harbaugh's transformed them into. And the Ravens are a very tough team to get a good grasp on, to get a good feel of. I feel like I know who the Chargers are. I like the Chargers tonight.
I do too. I really do too. And by the way, Z, you're so freaking funny. TJ says, I love my kids too much to have my wife leave me. A lot of people would say that. AB, let me come over to you. Because I think the books, at least this year, several times have fed into a narrative instead of actually what's going on. And this Ravens team, their defense is terrible. Can't stop anyone. And the Chargers have been physical and tough. I thought at worst this would be a pick 'em. Certainly not plus 2.5 for the home team.
It's fascinating. Look, now, the biggest question is 95-year-old Jack Harbaugh, their dad, going to wear one of those jerseys that's half Raven, half Chargers, the half hats, house divided license plates? No. Look, here's the interesting part is that the Ravens have one of the best run defenses in the league and literally the worst pass defense in the NFL. All right. But that puts Jim Harbaugh in a quandary because he does not want to throw the football a lot. He wants to run it. He wants to run the ball. But I think John Harbaugh is going to say, hey, it's right here. Secondary's right here. You can throw all you want because I know you're not going to do it. That's the part that I'm fascinated because the pass game's going to be there. But I don't know if Jim Harbaugh is going to take it.
Boy, it makes almost feel like AB if maybe – and I haven't put my picks in for the game tonight because we still have primetime live at 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight. We encourage you to join us. But I'm thinking about attempts and completions for Lamar Jackson. I really am because they're normally very low. Raphael, let me come over to you because you're always the one I come to for anything line related. Why is this the line right now when the Chargers are a better team and they have a better record?
Betting Public pushed this one to the Ravens -3 right away when the numbers came up. And now it's starting to come down. I'm shocked that the total went up. It's now 51 over at DraftKings. I thought it was going to go down. So I'm a little shocked because you see both teams will try to run the ball tonight. So I thought the total would come downward. And yes, after I'm done working with you guys today, I got to do Harbaugh betting props. How many times would a dad be showing on TV? How many times would the word Harbaugh will be mentioned today? So I'll be doing those betting props. So I could say
seriously?
Yes. So I could say we now.
Oh my God. Charles, save me on this. We nothing. What are your thoughts on this spread, Chuck?
I like I love the Chargers in the spot. I would rather have the 3, and I think we see a high scoring game. So you could even tease this one and get it through the key numbers of 3 and 7 if you wanted to, and give a little bit more cushion on that total. But I think it's going to be a high scoring game, especially for the Chargers. I think that benefits them a higher scoring game in this spot, and I think that they will be willing to throw the ball. Mr. Disley has been a prime target as well. So I'm looking for him to have a big night. So, yeah, I love the Chargers and a high-scoring game tonight.
All right. Again, 7 to 8 Eastern time tonight. Prime time live. It will be on Stadium and all of the platforms. Joe says, I wonder if anyone's getting to the club ever again. Chalk all season. I know, Joe. We're tired of it. But tonight could be my night. All right. Now, we like to play a little game we like to call over-unders here. It's very revolutionary. We're literally changing the game. Nobody's ever played over-unders before, ever. So this is where we piggyback. We start with AB. We go to Z. We go to Raphael. We go to Chuck. Over or under their yardage total. So, AB, let's start with Lamar Jackson. Your thoughts?
Over passing yards, 238.5. He's going to have to throw it. Both of these quarterbacks are going to have to do it. Yeah, give me over on Lamar.
Yeah, you know what? I like the over on Lamar also. I could see a scenario, second half especially, where the Chargers have been dominating time of possession. The Ravens playing a little bit of comeback, and Lamar Jackson having to throw the ball a ton. So I'll go Lamar Jackson over.
I'm going under 230. I think his legs are going to be shocking well, dude, today. So I'm going to go under 238.5 with Lamar.
I think the Ravens would possibly be behind, so I'm going to go with over also. I think getting to 239 is a small number this day and age for Mr. Lamar Jackson.
Very good. By the way, shout out to Austin. He says, I give Raphael constantly, but I respect the hell out of his work ethic. So do we. Now, let's go to the other quarterback, Mr. Herbert AB. You're up.
I don't hate playing this one. It's a big number, 259.5, but the Ravens really do have the worst in the league. If you're looking to play passing yardage, look at longest reception for Chargers wide receivers and running backs. That's where you want to do. They give up a lot of yak.
Z?
Where's the I thought we were putting up another graphic. Where's the graphic?
No, we got Justin Herbert still to go through.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were just picking one or the other. I apologize. My bus. I'm going under. Like I said, the Ravens are more of an unpredictable team, while the Chargers, I feel like we know who they are. Like their MO is to run the football and control the ball. So that doesn't mean that Herbert can't have a big game, but you're really stepping out and expecting something that we really haven't seen too much this year if you're going with Herbert over. So I'm going to go under 259.5.
Okay.
Under for me as well. I think J.K. Dobbins has a big game on the ground, so I think Herbert has a mediocre game, but 259 too big of a number for me.
Give me the over with Mr. Hebert. I think he's going to put some yards up. Mr. McConkey and Johnson and crew, I think he'll hit this 260. I think we may get over that easily.
Very good. Very good. I always have Z-Man's voice in my head where he said a couple of weeks ago, at this point in the season, these teams are who they are. We've got to stop talking about who they can become. They are who they are. And I listen to that, Z, all the time. All right, now, on the ground tonight, 2 studs. AB, this is your boy. Over, under for D. Henry.
Over. I will never, ever bet under on Derrick Henry anything yardage. I'll never do it, ever. I'll never do it. Yeah, give me the over here.
I think that's probably the right way to look at it. Like, why would you say, hey, I think Derrick Henry's got a bad game? It's only been in the league for 25 years. I think tonight's the night, No, you got to go over 85.5 yards. And let's also not forget, he had a rough week last week. He had the fumble last week. You could get some angry runs out of Derrick Henry tonight.
Redemption game for King Henry. I think he blows this one. When a shock we've hits the century mark, I say 85.5. Easy over.
Make that 4 over. What could go wrong? But at any time, Mr. Henry, he can just bust out. I would also look at his longest rush. He likes to hit those also. So yeah, make that 4-way on the over 85.5.
All right, I got 2.5 minutes. I got 3 to get through. AB, J.K. Dobbins.
Over, short number, to Tateable.
Yeah, same thing for me. I think we're going to see the Chargers run the ball a lot.
Same thing for me, over. He hits over the 50 mark.
Yeah, make that over. Even though he splits some reps, I still think that's a small number. I think you can at least get to 48.
Yeah, I think he's starting to get more and more comfortable and more healthy as well. Finally, we're talking in the air. I love both of these guys, but Zay Flowers has started to become kind of the go-to AB for Mr. Lamar Jackson.
Yep, they use 4 tight ends in the games as well. So give me Zay Flowers here. He'll get his yardage. He'll get yak up. Let's go.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what else. I think Zay Flowers, you're going to see, is really starting to emerge as one of the better wide receivers in the entire league. So let's go Zay Flowers over 59.5.
Okay. Love Zay Flowers over. He gets probably around 75 tonight. It'll be a target a lot.
Yeah, love Zay Flowers. Also, that 59.5 is a low number. Also love his receptions.
Okay, all overs there. And then your boy, A.B. McConkey. This is a high number. Why is it so high?
Because he's good. He's one of the best route runners for young wide receivers in the league. Here's the problem. I've got to stay away from it because his shoulder. He could be out of this game in one play, man. So no play for me on Lad because I love it, but it's tough.
Yeah, coming off a huge performance, I'm going to ride with it. You got a rookie here who's really coming into form here in the latter part of the season. I understand what AB is saying there, but listen, I'm a roll with it. So let's go over 66.5 yards.
We're talking gambling. Give me the over on this one. I know he's a little banged up, but so is everyone else in the league banged up. I think he has a big game.
I love Lad McConkey. Yeah, they have the slot. He just chews up yards. So, yeah, I think he gets to 67 in this one. I think he's going to be targeted plenty by Mr. Hebert.
Hey, we got Little Mims right here. This is Little Mims 4-1.
Wait a second. Little Mims? What is Little Mims' name?
Hey, Knox. And he brought me cinnamon rolls. Good boy.
Who is better than Little Mims, Mama Mims, Randall Mims? That's awesome. And God, I'm so hungry right now. Cinnamon rolls in the middle of DTL. That's what we're talking about. DTL. It's a vibe. It's a Monday. We're back. All right. Well, AB eats his cinnamon rolls. I want to give a shout out to Producer Man and AB. Dwayne says, I just want to give it up to all the fine folks behind the scenes. The production value has come a long way in a short period of time for DTL. So, AB, shout out to you and Producer Man.
Hey, team effort, man, everybody, because look, man, it's all ideas. We talk about it all the time through text. Everybody, the whole damn team. And Dwayne, that's very kind of you to say, for everybody. Yeah.
No doubt about it. In our next segment, we're going to have a little educate and entertain. We're going to be talking about college football. Z, you've been able to see it up close and personal. Who's been the best team for you that you've seen so far this year?
I think it's Georgia. I do. I think Georgia's the best team in the nation. And because of the madness that took place this weekend, even going into the final week now, Georgia's already clinched a spot back where they normally are in the SEC championship game. And they're going to face the winner of Texas and Texas A&M. So after all of this, after all the madness in the SEC throughout the season, I don't think I'm going out on a limb saying we're going to get Georgia and Texas in the SEC title game. But I think Georgia's the best team in the SEC. I think they're the best team in the country. So yeah, this was a wild weekend, especially in the SEC.
I see Raphael shaking his head.
But didn't they struggle this weekend? Give me Texas. They have two quarterbacks that can probably win in the SEC championship game. Texas and Oregon are battling for my number one spot.
Interesting, Chuck.
I like Texas, but Ohio State looked pretty good too. They're kind of flying under the radar. I think they could sneak in there and do some damage. It's really going to come down to the trenches. That usually is what wins when it comes down to it. And they have some horses down in the trenches that can stack up with the SEC team this season.
I am trying to remember who last week said here on DTL, I feel like Ohio State's going to beat Indiana by 20 plus. It feels like one of those games. Can you guys remember who said that?
DG.
Here's the interesting part, Coach. All right, first
we only
off,
got 10 seconds, AB.
Yeah.
Ahead.
We got two rematches. All right, Texas, Georgia already played. Ohio State, Oregon already played.
They did, and Texas beat Georgia. Oregon beat Ohio State. Oh, I love it. I love it. We're back in 5 seconds. All right, welcome back, everybody. It is a vibe on a Monday, and football, college, and the pros taking center stage as we head into an incredibly important week in both. But we haven't even talked about all the craziness that happened on the college gridiron this week, and Z-Man was at one of those games that shocked the world. It's time to educate, entertain. There was a lot of big losses this weekend. AB, I'm going to start with you. You had Alabama only scoring 3 points. What was that? Ole Miss, you talked about Lane Kiffin. Colorado controlled their own destiny. I think the best thing to happen to Indiana this week with that loss was the SEC and what happened there. So, AB, what was the worst loss in college football this weekend?
That Alabama loss was brutal, man. Going to Oklahoma, losing 24. They didn't even score a touchdown. When was the last time Alabama did not score a touchdown? And ESPN don't mess around either, because the last 2 weeks, all right, you remember when Tennessee went to Oklahoma and handled them from front to back, and the last 2 weeks you've done nothing but, that was a bad win. It doesn't matter. Keep that same energy now, because you always want Alabama in there. Oh, it ain't such a bad win now, is it there, Chief? All right, yeah, forget them. They're done. But yeah, that was bad. That was a tough loss, man.
I love when AB turns Rant Wednesday into Rant Monday.
Oh, they've been pulling that bull crap for 2 weeks. They've been pulling it.
I know you have. Z, you're out there on the road. You get to go to a different big game every single week. You were in Norman this week. What did you make of all this nuttiness that kind of shook things out for us?
Yeah, I mean, I think Alabama was the worst loss of the weekend. You know, it's hard to win on the road in the SEC. Of course, everybody knows that, but they weren't competitive. I mean, they got their butts kicked. You know, they got their butts kicked by a team that had just one SEC win the entire season going into Saturday night. So Alabama, they're done. You'll see tomorrow night with the rankings coming out. They're out. But I'm glad for the Hurricanes. You know, how do the Hurricanes fall into the mix here? Well, because now the Miami Hurricanes, if they win next week, they're at Syracuse, which is not going to be a cakewalk. But if they win next week, they're in the ACC title game. Presumably it'll be against SMU, who kicked the crap out of Virginia. But the reason that I bring this up is because now you're seeing a scenario where the loser of that ACC championship game still, I believe, has a good shot of getting into the college football playoff. And that's because Alabama is out now with their loss at Oklahoma, and because Ole Miss is out now with their loss at Florida. So I think you're looking at the ACC possibly getting 2 teams in, and that has not been something we've really considered until this week.
We haven't considered it at all until this week. And Raphael, you were doing odds, and at one point we had 5.5 as the number that you could bet over or under in the SEC. Oh, has that number dropped, huh?
Yeah, and don't forget A&M is out probably as well. So the SEC is just blowing up right now. Most people are saying 3 teams are coming in the SEC. My biggest game is Colorado. Like you guys all mentioned, they had their showcase. They had where they can showcase on national TV on ESPN that they can be that team to beat in a Big 12 championship. And they just laid a complete egg at Kansas, with Kansas running the ball down their throats, play after play after play. I think Colorado was the big shocker. Of course, Bama, what they did, but Colorado, they had it right in front of them.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people right now, Charles, that are upset, and they're on the college football committee. They're also at the networks because they wanted Dion. They wanted this Colorado team. They've got sizzle. They've got steak. And now they don't have really anything. Big Chuck, your thoughts on how everything shook out this weekend?
I was sad to see Colorado lose. Yeah, they definitely had it in their hands, and everyone wanted to see Primetime and company in the in that finals game. But yeah, Alabama 14-point favorites going on the road, losing to the lowly Sooners. Yeah, that was a tough one, especially after they went to LSU and blew my beloved Tigers out. To see them falter like that on the road, yeah, it was a humbling experience for the Tide. But they've had a few of those this season, so I think that's just pretty much par of the course.
It kind of feels like at this point we're talking about 2 out of the ACC. It'll be Miami. I think it's going to be SMU too, and I think 4 in the Big Ten: Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana, and Penn State will get in. And then I think we'll see 3 out of the SEC. Who would have bet on that? My goodness, who would have bet on that? Gentlemen, well freaking done. Now, I always look at the live number because it continues to grow throughout the hour, which means there's a lot of you that don't get your breaks at work until 10:30. We get it. But we want to make sure you get every single pick because we're having a really good run. Several days in a row, we have been profitable, and that will continue today in a little something we like to call the whip around. All right, it is 10 seconds or less. 1 nugget on each game. AB, start us off.
Coach, I'm having cinnamon rolls from the lovely Mims family because UConn players don't get anything that is fun. It is just defense and destroying people. Give me UConn minus 8.5, and then the King, Derrick Henry, 2+ touchdowns tonight.
Charles.
EPL, Newcastle, West Ham. The both teams are scoring over 2.5. That's cashing 3 straight in 7 of their last 10 meetings.
Raphael.
Coach, I got 2 nuggets for you. Nuggets team total over 117.5 minus 120, and J.K. Dobbins over 12.5 rushing attempts, laying to 3 nickels.
Z, bring us home.
Yeah, you guys know my style. I like finding the good value. And even though my Florida Panthers, they've been struggling. They've lost 5 out of 6. They're at home tonight against the Capitals team that's minus Alexander Ovechkin. So let's go Panthers Panthers puck line minus 1.5. And that's giving us plus 150. I love it. I love it. And let's do an NBA parlay. 3 legs, home winners. Hawks tonight, Grizzlies tonight, Warriors tonight. So Hawks against the Mavericks, the Grizzlies against the Blazers, Warriors against the Nets. So that will equal plus 125.
And we also have a crew versus crew showdown tonight as Z has the Panthers on the money line, no puck line, and Mark, better days ahead from Weekend Wagers, challenged him openly on the show. And as he always says, scared monkey.
Scared monkey is definitely not what I say. I never say scared monkey. I never say that. I never say that.
Oh, my God. No, we don't. Scared money. I got a little distracted because Matt said first cinnamon rolls, now sizzle on steak. I haven't had breakfast, guys. Easy on the food talk for another 10 minutes, eh? Yeah, Matt. It's not even 8 o'clock for me.
Coach, you're muted. You're having a tough time.
Well, he went muted, so I'll tell you this. We're also having a drink from Hooters, but it's actually just water.
I'm good. I got my hands go everywhere. All right, the Howie Schwab crew play of the day is what, AB?
Going with the Ravens here, minus 2.5. Keep it going.
Ravens on the road. Nobody believes in the Chargers. And we end every single show with Ravi's stat of the day. Raphael, where are we going today?
The Chargers' last 13 Monday Night Football games, 11 of them have hit the under, and this total is moving upwards. Weird.
Very weird. Z, your thoughts on potentially the under? Because somebody hit the over last night.
Yeah, I do like I lean toward the under here tonight. And I know you hate unders, but we hate losing money more. So I lean toward the under.
There is no doubt. AB, your final thoughts as we start to get ready for Primetime Live?
Yeah, my final thought is this. Last night, we were going to hit both teams to score 21-plus points. The Rams scored a touchdown and then went for 2 and just threw it away. Like, all you have to do is kick the meaningless extra point for plus money. Oh, you screwed me again, McVay.
Does anybody else does it drive anybody else crazy now in this world of sports betting to hear the announcers go, "Oh, meaningless touchdown," or "Oh, it drives me insane." Only Al Michaels, because Brent Musburger doesn't do games anymore. Only Al Michaels.
I was listening on Westwood One. I'll be real quick. Listening on Westwood One, and then Kurt Warner and the other guy that are going, and Kurt Warner goes, "Well, it doesn't matter. It's 11 o'clock at night in the neighborhood." And I scream, "Yeah, it matters to me, Hoss." Come on.
Yeah, Kurt Warner, he's also in those damn be careful when you're betting commercials as well. That's who Kurt Warner is. Gentlemen, as always, thank you for your time. Thank you for your effort. Thank you for your analysis. I got the best damn crew in the game. On this very short week, understand we will be here every single morning, including Thanksgiving Day. So please join us there and understand it's now time for you to go out into the world. Maybe only 3 days of work this week, hopefully for you. Time for you to pay it forward. Be kind to one another. Be honest with each other. It's the only way that this thing can work. And understand this, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire crew, Lobo, my man from the Dirty Big Chuck, my man Z, Raphael, producer man, AB, and I'm simply the coach. Trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about every single day right here on DTL. See you tonight. Good luck.